Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa were once on the same page in WWE when the two were in the same faction as the Tribal Chief and the Enforcer, respectively. However, Matthew Rehwoldt, Aiden English, thinks there's a possibility of them reuniting against a new threat. Earlier this month, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga went on their own as they started to cut promos and have matches on Friday Night SmackDown without Solo Sikoa as their leader. The two have been rampant with no clear directive from their former leader following his loss to Roman Reigns on WWE Raw. Speaking on the Rebooked Wrestling podcast, Matthew Rehwoldt, Aiden English, joked that the company can resort to lazy writing by bringing Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa back on the same page against Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. However, the star thinks it's possible and unlikely at the same time. An easy booking would be Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Big bloodline tag
Ball
match,
shuru ball.
you know what I mean. That
Single,
feels like
single,
overtreading,
single.
but it's one of those where there's a universe where that gets booked, English said. Solo Sikoa seemingly ignored Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga on WWE SmackDown after loss to Roman Reigns. Last year, Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns' respective factions got a win over one another at WWE PLEs. However, the two chiefs decided to settle the score when they fought on Raw's Netflix debut for the Eula Fala. In the end, Roman Reigns walked away with the sacred necklace and Solo Sikoa was left with nothing. After weeks of absence, Sikoa returned to Friday Night SmackDown, but things were different. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga went on their own and won a match against Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso. Later, they attacked Big Jim when he was moments away from defeating Carmelo Hayes. After the beatdown, Solo Sikoa appeared but didn't interact with the duo. Moreover, he walked away without uttering a word about his loss. It'll be interesting to see what's next for the star on WWE SmackDown. The new Bloodline's reign of terror in WWE ended when Roman Reigns won back the Eula Fala on Raw's Netflix debut. Recently, Matthew Rehwoldt, aka Aiden English, stated it's a possibility that Solo Sikoa will move to Monday Night Raw away from Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Earlier this month, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga started a new journey on the blue brand, seemingly without Solo Sikoa. The duo also defeated Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso and have been on a warpath without a leader on Friday Night SmackDown. Speaking on the Rebooked Wrestling podcast, Matthew Rehwoldt, aka Aiden English, suggested that Solo Sikoa could move to Monday Night Raw without Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga and would not take any hiatus from the company heading into WrestleMania 41. I'm intrigued. I don't see him going away on a hiatus. Maybe a couple of weeks. But he's not gone until post-Mania. I don't see that. Does he go to Raw, and Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga stay on SmackDown? Maybe, English said. The new Bloodline set to undergo name change on WWE SmackDown, reports. Last year, Solo Sikoa's faction became the new Bloodline when Roman Reigns went on a hiatus from WWE and the previous group broke up. Later, the original Tribal Chiefs iteration of the group reunited to go up against Solo Sikoa's faction and won. Reigns then reclaimed the Eula Fala, which marked the end of Solo Sikoa's reign as the current Tribal Chief. According to WrestleVotes Radio on Backstage Pass, Triple H is reportedly planning to change the faction's name. Moreover, the report doesn't mention Sikoa's name in the faction anymore, and the group will comprise of Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Low going forward, and the game was directly responsible for the decision. On the recent edition of WWE SmackDown, Solo Sikoa didn't address his loss and left the members in the ring without interacting at all.